You'll have made a lot more progress if you take that weight down a little bit. Control those reps a little bit more, meaning you're putting in better effort, better work. If you're putting in 110% here, or at work, or at home, where's that extra 10% going to come from? Well, good morning. Welcome back. Good to see you again. It's another bright and shiny day here in the gym. It is the weekend where I am at this point in time, and that's always a good thing because that means we can spend a little bit more time on our workout, usually. Not have to rush so much, but it means we've got a nice, relaxing day ahead of us, too. That's the hope, at least. That is the hope. Got a couple chores to get done today, spending time with the family, doing those types of things, but generally, this weekend so far has been pretty relaxing, which has been nice. We've been go, 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 go for weeks, and I'm sure you know how that feels, where you feel like you never actually get a chance to truly just relax, decompress. All of those things are hugely important, and even for somebody like myself who's a huge extrovert and maybe even has FOMO on missing out on social activities sometimes, I have to take those moments to rest and recover, and my wife helps remind me of that. Today, though, we're not resting and recovering. We've got a pool day. Yesterday was our off day. That was for resting and recovering. And we did a good 4 mile run, which was awesome. We've just been doing 2 miles up till now. And so yesterday was the first time with 4 miles, and I did it pushing a stroller. So let's call it, gosh, I don't know, 50 to 60 extra pounds that we're pushing around. The kid weighs, 25 to 30 pounds, and the stroller weighs somewhere around 25 to 30 pounds as well, I would imagine. And it was good. It was good to us. It was challenging, but we had a really nice misting rain for probably 3/4 of it, half to 3/4 of it. It was awesome. And getting that bilateral stimulation in there, being able to just to get out, no headphones, just get out there and push ourselves, it was awesome. And it was the first run we've done so far where we hadn't worked out beforehand either, which was unique in and of itself. Speaking of the workout, today we've got a full day ahead of us, and we're going to be doing some more wide grip pull-ups and the exercises that you saw last week with a little bit of variations. After that first week, we were able to really settle in on where we need those weights to be, how we need that rep to be, the form to be, all of those things, right? Like I've reminded you a couple times on the channel now, you can't just give up on an exercise or a workout the first time you do it. It's going to take your body some time to adjust. So ideally, you're doing that 2, maybe 3 times. And then at that point, really asking, considering for yourself, is this the right exercise? Am I enjoying this? Is this the best one for us? You might not even enjoy it those first few times, and it really just takes a little bit of time for it to sink in for you. Because if you're like me, you want to master it, right? You don't want to be doing it incorrectly or anything like that. So not being able to do it perfectly, it's going to frustrate you. Just take your time, take some patience. I promise it'll work out. But we're not changing up any of the other exercises. We're going to be doing the exact same exercises. I mean, I could consider doing that. I don't, I mean, look, here's the thing. If I bring out all the cables, it's not an excuse. If I bring out all the cables, that's just going to add extra time, which means not as much time for pets for you. Well, that got you quiet. I got too quiet. All the other exercises today going to be staying exactly the same. We've honed in those weights. We're really going to be taking these to as far as possible down the road, as close to RPE 10 and even failure as we possibly can, while making sure that we maintain that form. So for instance, on our wide grip pull-ups today, we're going to be adding some weight to that. We're going to be adding 25 pounds or so. We might reduce that down just to make sure we maintain that nice strict form we had. Perfect form last week. We were able to really pull ourselves up with some grace and control and also let ourselves go with that same grace and control after a slight pause at the top there. I don't want to sacrifice on any of that. So I want to ensure that we get all the ROM, all the control that we had last week, but adding some additional resistance to it should be able to help us amplify the overall volume that we're going to get. We might not be able to do the weight for every set, but even if we only do it for the first set, maybe even the second one, that's going to be fine. That's going to give us an additional stimulus that we otherwise wouldn't have if we just did our body weight for all 3 sets. Well, that's enough yapping. Let's get after it. Let's get warmed up. I got some stretches to do just to get the shoulders and the back warmed up a little bit more. And then we're going to get over here and do some pull-ups. I'll see you there. right, we got a 25 here. We're gonna give this a go. This is gonna be a decent amount of weight to add to these. These weren't the easiest things in the world last week, but we're still gonna try to hit all of our reps, crank that all out, good form. We're going slightly wide on these two, so we're not gonna be going shoulder width where our hands would probably be, aligned like this, but we're gonna bring that out a little bit wider, maybe another palm and a half wide, and we're gonna crank out our reps. Let's see what happens here. Yes, we're wearing our wrist wraps. We want to make sure our grip is not a failing point on these. We're really trying to pull as much as we can without anything else failing. Let's do it. Okay, that was tough. It was tough. Whew. I don't think we're gonna be able to do that again, at least with good form. So we're gonna keep weight on it, but we're only gonna add 10 pounds here on this next set. All right, got our 10 pounder here. This should be manageable for our second set. 25 was barely manageable for 9, and on 10 we really struggled to complete that with any quality form. It certainly didn't feel like it. I'm sure it didn't look like it. Set number 2 here, 8 to 10 more reps. Okay, yep, not bad, not bad. All right, final set here, no weight on these. We're gonna be adding in some long length partials to failure at the end here. So if we needed extra weight, I don't think this is the set for it. Wide grip, 10 plus reps here. Let's do it. That was good. We're happy with that. Last week's long length partials, if I remember, they were not very good at all. If we even got more than like 2 done, I don't think we did. Front loaded that weight, 25, then 10, then 0. We're doing bodybuilding work, hypertrophy-based work here, baby. The weight's not always gonna be the same on every single set. You gotta live with it, you gotta deal with it, and you gotta get over it. Okay, let's get set up for some easy bar curls. With the chest support. I'll see you there. All right, last week we had 195 on this easy bar. We had 2 45s on each end, and the bar weighs about 15 pounds. This week we've reduced one of the 45s down to 35s. That's going to take 20 total pounds off of this, bringing us down to 175, which I think is going to be a much more sustainable and doable weight for us. Apart from being more sustainable, just to finish it all out, the form itself just was not very good. I want to make sure we're getting some really good contractions. We're not just like forcing our way through these reps from the very first set there. If we've got to do it in those latter sets, if we've got to crank some out and just let that form get a little sloppy to finish out maybe the last couple reps, that's something we can live with. But I felt like while doing the work last week, but also while reviewing the footage, it just wasn't, it didn't feel good, it didn't look good, and I don't think the weight was where it needed to be. I think it was just a little bit too much there. So this 20-pound reduction should put us in a good zone, and if we've got to reduce it down even further, we'll do just that for that second set. Let's get after it. Oh yeah, that's better. Good. That's so much better. So much better. I think we're going to be even able to take those slower than we did here on this first set. Fantastic. One thing I think we often forget is that at times we just got to slow it down a little bit. Slow it down or reduce the weight or maybe not take on as much responsibility. All of those things can lead to us doing something so much more inefficient. And if we're doing that day over day over day over day in a row, week after week, month after month, that progress is going to be stalled out. Think about it again in the context of your workouts. if you reduce it a little bit now, you might not notice it day to day that you're not making as much progress, but I would guarantee you that in a couple months' time, you'll have made a lot more progress if you take that weight down a little bit, control those reps a little bit more, meaning you're putting in better effort, better work that's going to accomplish more in the long run. It's so hard to see that. It's so hard to delay that gratification, to not just use the biggest weight, to not just immediately buy that thing that might not actually solve the problem that you're trying to solve for right now. But by delaying it, it will be better in the long run. All right, set number 2. Let's not delay this rest. Let's not delay this set any further here. Nice and controlled, nice and slow. Oh, very good. All right, let's do this last set here. And we're going to be adding in some long length partials at the end too, because these are feeling nice and strong too. So, and keep me honest here. Extending all the way down and only bringing it up about halfway. Letting it fully go at the bottom, letting it sit for a second so that we're not bouncing out of it, and then bringing it up about halfway instead of all the way up to our chest. Keeping that tension there in that lower half of motion. Let's do it. Come on. Yep. Woo. All right. We're pleased with that. Man, these lats are taking a beating today. All right, just a reminder on these, we're going to be doing integrated partials on every single one of these reps here. So we'll be taking a full rep in and then a half rep on every single set here. Again, we're using the wrist wraps because we do not want our grip to be a failure point on any of these reps here. So by using these, we can ensure that our grip stays firmly planted on this bar and doesn't move. Okay, let's do it. 12 to 15. Be wondering about the counts there. Trust me, this is 1 rep, 2 rep for the half, 3 reps for the full, 4 reps for the half. Good. 1 minute rest. Oh my God. I bet you if you do this exercise, you're going to find that this is one of those ones where you do that first set and you're going to be like, BJ, you filthy freaking liar. That wasn't tough at all. That second set even proved me wrong. I really debated on adding more weight there. But as you saw on both the right and the left side, those last few reps, dicey. All right, time for some face pulls. Let's get this swapped out, get some more weight on there. Let's do some face pulls. All right, time for another set of stretch curls here. We're gonna be supersetting these with our cable crunch right over here in between these sets. So we're not gonna take any additional rest time. We're gonna do our curls right here, and then honestly, just to be as time efficient as possible, we're gonna do our crunches, and as soon as we're done with those crunches, we'll come back over here, and our biceps should have had enough time to rest. If we do one or even our second set and we're like, no, the biceps are really like actually fried, and we're struggling to do these 20s, we'll throw in some rest there. Let's get after it. We got 20 pounds loaded up again. These killed us last week. We got 2 good quality sets in there where we hit full 15 reps, but that third set was a struggle, an absolute struggle. So I'd like to replicate that again this week and see if we can really send these biceps home. We've been hitting them with a lot of volume, but not too much volume. So let's get after it. I have changed my mind. We're going up to 22 and a half. Let's start there. Since we nailed that first set last time, let's try 22 and a half first. Okay, I'm happy with that. Cable curls. Cable crunch, rather. No rest. Biceps are definitely feeling it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, yeah. Okay. We're definitely... Oh, God. We're definitely going to have to reduce down that last set there. Yeah. Oh my goodness. All right, y'all. This is where I'm going to bid you farewell. Thanks for showing up today. Thanks for being here. Sometimes that's all we can muster is showing up, and that's okay. Thankfully today I was able to show up and actually put in some decent work, feel good about it, and feel accomplished about it. But there are going to be those days where no matter what we do, we're only going to be able to achieve the bare minimum, maybe even less. It's okay. Don't be so hard on yourself. We can't be perfect every day. You cannot put in 110% every single day. It's not possible. The law of averages, it all has to equal out. So if you're putting in 110% here, or at work, or at home, where's that extra 10% going to come from? Where? Ask yourself. It's going to have to come from somewhere. Don't be so hard on yourself. You're not going to be able to maintain that forever with everything. And if it's not coming from 10% today, it's going to come from 10% tomorrow. If you're not taking a rest, your body is going to make you take a break. You have to give yourself that grace. You have to give yourself that comfort and that relaxation. You need it. And I know for some of us, that's going to be really, really hard to do. Almost impossible to do. Maybe to an even greater extent, just to have that rest or relaxation. There are plenty of people who just can't seem to catch a break. Their life is too much, too crazy. And at times, life throws that at us. Whether that's for a day or even a year, life will throw things at us nonstop. And like we've said before, just like in the gym, you finish one set, there's another one after that, and another rep after the rep you just did. But eventually you are going to get that break in between 2 workouts. Whether that's a day or 2 days or a week. You will get it eventually. Just keep looking forward to that. But remember also that something else is coming. It's not going to be all sunshine and daisies forever, and that's okay. That's life. That's what life is, fortunately or unfortunately. Okay, y'all. Thanks again for being here. I appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing. I believe in you. I really do.